Hey everyone, welcome to our inaugural episode of Attack on Anime. I'm your host Vedant, along with my co-host
Amardeep,
Braxton,
Preet,
and Janelle, and welcome to our first episode.
Yeah, our debut episode.
Yeah, so we're gonna be kind of experimenting. We know what we're gonna talk about, so just give us some headspace and
Bear with us.
give us some leeway.
Yeah,
we're gonna get
let's
off
get to
topic here and there.
So,
a couple of guys that see what happens.
Yeah.
for sure.
A couple of guys few guys just love anime, so we made a podcast on this shit.
All right. So Amardeep, what do we have in our hands this week? What's the gist of things?
All right, guys. So considering it is our first episode, I think the best thing that we can do for the listeners is to get them to get better understanding of what kind of anime we enjoy. So for this episode, we're gonna have each of our own top 5 anime, and we're gonna discuss why we enjoy them and why they're our favorite over others.
There you go. There you have it.
Who's starting off the list first?
You wanna just jump right into it?
Yeah. I feel like yeah. Why not? Yeah.
All right.
Start
No.
it.
So what's your top? Or start from 5?
Who's starting it? Should I start it?
Sure. Why not? You started off the podcast, so let's
All right.
start off.
Okay,
with you.
so my top 5. This is in order. All right. Some of you guys might not have it in order, but this is my top 5. All right. We'll start from 5 to 1.
Is this in descending order or like?
I'm
just
doing
a mix?
descending order. I'm starting from 5 to 1.
Oh, 5. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
5 to 1. So number 5, I got Death Note.
Oh,
All right. Classic. I'm pretty sure we all agree with that. Right?
Number 5.
Yeah, number 5. I'm putting it at number
I
5.
don't
It's
think I
a
can agree with
it's a
that.
controversial decision.
Okay.
I get that.
overrated, right?
Right. All right.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think so.
Oh my
a
goodness.
little bit now.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Continue.
Number 4, Gurren Lagann. Right?
Yeah, that's a safe haven.
You
I
know,
don't think you
it's,
can really
it's
go
your
wrong.
opinion, but
Yeah.
it's overrated.
You can't
Really?
go- oh my goodness. You serious? All right. Number 3, Steins Gate. I think Steins Gate is one of the most almost one of the most phenomenally written animes ever.
I feel like
Especially when you mess around with time and stuff.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people mess up the whole time traveling stuff, which is a huge part of Steins Gate. No spoilers. But if there are any spoilers, we're gonna say spoilers alert. All right.
Probably
Number
not,
2.
though.
All right. You gotta give a warning, man.
We might put in the tags. Who knows?
Yeah.
yeah, we'll I think
I mean, if we're not
just in
lazy.
regards to spoilers, we'll timestamp topics and then
Yeah.
mention if there's spoilers. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll
and
we'll
if
try
it's
to do that.
overrated, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Steins
There you
Gate
go.
is
Yeah,
overrated.
we have our official overrated guy
Yeah.
here. So
Of course, we got the overrated man.
I feel like your list so far is pretty
Strong.
yeah, like a generic top 5. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty
Very
solid.
generic.
Yeah. Number 2. All right.
Don't say Dragon Ball.
Code Geass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Code Geass.
Okay.
I'm putting number 2
Okay.
at Code Geass, right?
All right.
Of course, R3's coming up. I'm pretty sure we're all hyped about Code
Yeah,
Geass right
obviously,
now.
yeah.
Obviously, right? Obviously.
But what's number 1? How can Code Geass
Just to let you know, yo, Andrew hasn't watched Code Geass, so don't spoil anything, right? Don't
Okay.
spoil anything. This guy hasn't watched season 2, so don't spoil
Yeah,
anything.
I haven't
Alright.
watched season 2 yet.
Yeah,
I need to
just
get
make sure. I'm letting you guys know that, right?
Alright,
Yeah.
fine.
Honestly.
But it's overrated.
Alright. Of course, everything's overrated. Alright, number 1. Okay, if you guys say this is fucking overrated, you're all idiots. Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay,
Yeah.
first of all,
Alright.
Full Metal Alchemist, Full Metal Brotherhood, overrated.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Whoa, my
Okay,
boy.
wait.
Yeah, you're actually-
Okay. If it's
you're actually
overrated,
Big Man.
I want an anime that is justly rated or underrated, in your opinion.
Let's see.
What was the question?
Like that's fit.
I mean, considering he said his top 5 is all overrated.
Everything overrated.
What
Yeah,
would
you
you
No
have?
game, no life.
Overrated, dude.
No.
Overhyped.
No, dude.
Alright.
It's
That
not even
show's not
over-
even done yet.
It's not overhyped. It's
not
very
done, but I mean-
underrated.
It's there's
very
like 12.
underrated.
There's like 12
I haven't
episodes.
watched it yet, actually.
12 episodes of amazing.
You honestly gonna say no game, no life?
amazing.
It's better than
Stuff.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay, no.
Oh
okay.
my god.
It has
Oh, you're about to go
potential.
blasphemous on me right now. You're about to go blasphemous on me right now.
Holy.
Yo,
Big Manana.
this guy just said, hold on. No,
okay.
hold on.
Number
You
1.
just said no game, no life is better than Code Geass, better than Full Metal Alchemist,
Death Note.
better than Death Note,
It has
Gurren
That's
Lagann,
pretty wild. That's
Start-
pretty wild.
just
Steins
for,
Gate.
just for the 12 episodes, starting off.
Dude, how can you say anime is good when it's not even
Okay.
done yet?
Have you seen Aaron Dismuck? Have you seen this cutie?
Who is that? Who did you just Google?
That's the voice actor of
Alphonse
Al.
Elward.
Yeah, the,
He came to
the
Anime
first
Rev
one.
last
Yeah.
year.
Me
Oh,
and Braxton
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
me and Braxton got
Dude,
autographs.
oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love him.
Killed it.
That cute. You
Yeah,
can say
yeah.
that guy. Is not one of the best voice actors in the world.
Okay, I don't know about that. Okay, I don't know about him.
Hey, you shut up,
I'd
you
agree
shut
with Vic. I'd agree with Vic McDonough as being one of the
Vic's my
top
boy,
voice
Vic.
actors.
Vic is hot,
Yeah.
like 100%.
All right.
Would you bang him?
Yes,
All right.
How many
Well,
times?
Well,
every night.
Every
Not,
position?
yeah, not
Oh my
enough.
God.
That's not enough.
Oh my god.
Can you tell this is an all boys podcast yet?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
If you haven't noticed.
I mean, we're talking about gay sex, so what do you
yeah,
expect?
if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
That's the number one topic.
Oh my god. Oh my
we all love it.
Okay, I think that was a pretty
Alright.
solid list.
Big
I
meta.
liked it.
That was-
I think
Say.
I don't know about Preet over here, but I feel like that's a pretty solid list.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty. Like,
We'll see. We'll see when he gets. We'll,
You know,
we'll see when he
it's
gets to
your
his list.
opinion. I respect it, but when it comes down to good anime, I don't think.
I think all five of my animes are
experience.
critically acclaimed. I think all
yeah,
five.
no, yeah,
right?
that's true. That's true.
Girl Lagann. Okay, especially Girl Lagann. Like that's just hyped as hell, man. It's like one of the.
I actually think
action-packed
that, I
anime
actually
ever.
think that's like the most underrated.
Yeah, on your list.
Really?
Least
Yeah.
hype.
Because
And
everybody
I feel-
knows about like Code Geass and Death Note. Like,
Well, I mean, when it comes to Gurren Lagann, like haven't you like even in Code Geass, the Gurren MK2, where it is influenced by? It's influenced by Gurren Lagann. All the Transformers got their inspiration from Gurren Lagann, which is actually like something I researched, so I know I know this.
that
I know
actually
this,
thing?
This
Really?
is a fact. This is a fact. Yes, this is a fact. Right?
Really?
So Transformers actually
Someone needs to
got
Google
some-
this.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
You got the laptop in
You
front
got
of
the
you,
laptop
man.
in front of you, man. What are you
Alright,
doing right
say-
now?
Well,
save it
I'm
for-
using your Wi-Fi,
Yeah,
so
well-
I might not get anything.
Yeah, but
I feel like it's also the most underrated just because it's like the most anime-ish. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like Death Note and Code Geass are like pretty
Yeah.
serious and they're like reach a broader audience.
yeah.
And I feel like in terms of like normies, like the general public, a lot of these other like animes that you pick, like Death Note, they've had Western adaptations
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they've had
that's
film
true.
like
Yeah.
film remakes and such. But Gurren Lagann, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh, that's because yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
Right.
I agree with that. Yeah, I see that. But Gurren Lagann, man, if you haven't watched it, you gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'll,
put it on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's next on their top 5?
Anybody want to go?
Overrated
next?
man over here should go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
he's the most
you need to
outspoken,
follow up with
so.
some good shit.
Yeah,
you know?
let's see how
Alright,
Preet's
well-
top 5. Let's see if it lives up to the reputation here.
I can see it already. It's pretty shit.
So we're gonna start with our best one, the best series.
Best one. Okay.
It's going to be.
this
No,
is
no,
what-
actually, no. Start from the bottom.
No,
start from
Start
the
from
yeah,
the
yeah,
bottom.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
I
okay,
agree, I
okay.
agree.
So from number 5, I have chosen Great Teacher Onizuka. It is about a thug,
that's a
a
classic.
thug that
Yeah.
becomes a teacher
Yeah.
and teaches the students a value of life, and it's just great. It's amazing, and it's underrated.
Yeah,
It's
that's
I
actually
agree with
very
that.
It's
No,
really,
I
it's
agree
really
with that.
underrated.
Like I haven't watched it, but I've
Me-
heard a lot
me
about it.
neither,
I've heard a
yeah.
lot about
I've
it.
heard a
though.
lot,
It's-
yeah.
So it
I
must be
haven't
good.
finished it yet.
But I don't know if
I
it's top 5 worthy though. Okay, go on.
Well, you know,
Maybe
it's a
it's-
subjective list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4, Log Horizon.
I've never heard of that.
Oh,
It's
never heard of
it's
that.
better than SAO.
Whoa!
Way better than SAO.
Wait,
It-
Log Horizon?
Well,
Log
I'm gonna start-
Horizon.
Is this
Oh.
a new anime?
No,
No, 2014.
It's
yeah.
2014. No, it is
It's
old.
it's
yeah.
about getting trapped in a video game.
You say cat.
What a creative idea. It's
But-
never been done before.
But they do it better.
But they do it better.
They do it
But
better.
I can make the argument Sword Art Online is more popular and just
Well,
sold better.
'cause, you
Doesn't
know,
mean
that's
it's
like
better though.
I don't
Doesn't
think
mean
it's
it's better.
I don't think it's done well critically though.
Yeah, that's true.
I
There's
mean-
Sword
more-
Art
So-
Online.
no,
I've
that
heard a
one,
lot of
no,
people
no.
started hating it after they leave.
Oh,
Sword
I
Art
hated it.
Online.
I hated it after like the first 13
Why?
episodes. I was done with Sword
Why?
Art Online.
That is so. It's a good
You know what?
follower. Because people are like, oh, yeah, it's so sad. Everyone dies, and then you go to
Whoa. Spoilers.
You know what I mean? No spoilers.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
spoilers. Good, no spoilers. Keep the spoiler free.
But you've seen it in the description, so
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
fine, right?
Also, Alpha Online when Asuna gets like captured and stuff, dude.
That's one of the worst arcs ever.
no, it
It's
makes
actually
it
a really bad art.
it makes the viewers like,
Hold up, real quick. We're like deep with these spoilers. Is this okay?
oh yeah, shit.
Wait, are you gonna watch Sword Art Online?
It's-
You should.
it's-
It's garbage.
Sword Art
I
Online.
actually was not gonna go watch
Yeah,
it.
it's
I'm
garbage.
just saying maybe
It's
for
garbage anyway.
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
You should watch. Okay, I should not.
No,
watch
but even
spoilers,
for
yeah.
not us, but for viewers.
For the
we're
viewers,
watching
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
The only thing that
I mean,
But
you can,
I
you
feel
can give
like-
a general summary without spoiling the whole
I
entire
feel
thing.
like most of these animes, because there's like super mainstream. I feel like if you haven't seen these animes, you should.
It's on you. Yeah.
And like you should have already seen it at this point.
Then why
But
haven't you watched Code Geass yet?
you know, 50 episodes.
that is true. That is very
I
true.
will tell you, I'm a
That
bit
is
of
very true.
a novice,
Oh,
a bit of a
no,
newbie, you know,
A newbie.
but a bit of a
You're
newbie, you know,
normie. You're
in what in
normie.
the
a little normie. But you watch my list, it's not normie.
all right, I
Alright,
like
fair
it.
enough.
Alright.
Oh,
Okay.
continue.
All right,
Preet-
so
Preet-
continue.
Alright,
Let's
well,
go.
number 3 is Hellsing Ultimate.
I haven't seen it.
Okay,
That's
I've seen
yeah,
Hellsing Ultimate.
that's a good one.
I've seen Hellsing-
Vampires.
But yo, to be honest,
gore.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's amazing.
I got really bored. I got really bored when it comes to Hellsing Ultimate. Like I probably it was like what isn't wasn't
Okay,
it like
but when did you
like,
when did you watch it? That we need context.
like last year? I watched it last year.
I feel like it's
and,
too old at that point because there's so many other animes.
No,
now.
they brought it. No, they had Hellsing, and
They
then
had
they
Hellsing,
brought
yeah.
I know, it's
Hellsing
like-
Ultimate,
that was
which is
like a-
back in I think 2000.
8. That's a while.
No.
No, it was
Go.
2011 or something
Is
like
it
that.
really?
Pretty
I must have
sure.
watched
Yeah,
the original
it's-
Hellsing then.
Yeah, it's the original Hellsing you're talking about. It has like
Yeah.
the really old animation and everything. The Ultimate, it's like an hour long per
I'm actually
episode.
I'm gonna need to go back to that then.
Yeah, dude, because like the Ultimate follows the actual storyline
Yeah.
of the proper thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I watched the whole entire thing, and it was like an hour long each. But I found myself getting bored like way too much at the beginning. I would not consider that a top 5 anime.
I mean,
I don't think it's top 5 in its own genre.
the main character,
Wow.
Alucard,
He's a good character. Alucard is a
he's
G.
one of the
I like-
best characters.
Okay, I'll agree with that. Alucard is actually like a really good anime character, but the anime in itself, the whole story, is garbage. Like I wouldn't say it's garbage, but I wouldn't say it's what happened.
2006 to 2012.
Yeah, pretty
Wow.
dated.
For Ultimate, yeah.
It's pretty dated.
Yeah.
I remember watching it like 08 or something. So
Well, a lot of the animation for it is it's a lot better than
Yeah.
Hellsing. But
Yeah.
anyways, moving on.
The
Number 2, Fairy Tale.
Yay!
Oh
Okay,
my
well-
I
goodness.
disagree with that.
Whoa,
I have to
whoa,
disagree with
that's
that.
not overrated.
That
that's not
is
overrated.
way. First of all,
That's
it's,
one of
it's,
the most
it-
normie animes. Fairy Tale.
Yeah.
And you're saying Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is overrated.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And-
You
No, that's
hold on. You compare my number 2 to his number 2. Code Geass
Code
versus
Geass
versus Fairy Tail.
yeah. I feel like Fairy Tail.
Fairy
is
Tale has
actually-
more heart. Code Geass is just
You've
a
lost
bunch
your
of
mind.
a bunch of.
You have lost your mind. Yo, after 10 years they released season 3, the whole fucking world just went buck, and you're telling me like Fairy Tail.
I don't
like,
believe that. I don't believe that. I think the small portion of maybe 100 people
Wait.
are blowing up
Are
the
you-
internet and going
are
like,
you-
"Hey, Code Geass is coming back, woo!" But really, what it is,
I see that
Fairy
happening.
Tale.
I think Fairy Tale
It's-
is a bigger adoption
It's
than
a lot
It's-
bigger.
it's
It's,
first of all,
a
it's a
lot
bigger-
better.
Of
and
course, it's a bigger adoption. It's got like 150 episodes. No
Yeah,
shit, it's gonna
yeah.
be. No shit's gonna be bigger. It ran longer.
bigger does not
It's-
necessarily mean better.
Huh, that-
Especially with anime and like these type of long art forms like
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
What do you
it's
say? What
it's
do you
still
say?
running.
I mean, the more it goes on, that's gonna be the quality's
All
gonna
right, everybody,
be
type in the comments: is bigger better? You decide.
Yeah. Straight up.
And
It's
for
huge.
my top number 1,
Oh
this
my
is
God.
this is
You
probably
know,
the best.
I see. I'm
This
looking
If
at
this
it
is
right now.
if this is what I
This
think it
is
is.
the best
I'm looking at
anime
it
Say
right
it.
now.
Fairy Tale was your
all
number
around.
2, so I'm
Yeah.
worried
Fairy
now.
Tale's number 2,
I don't
number
know what
1,
it
Bleach.
I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I'm
See,
leaving. I'm leaving.
Started off
I am done with
amazing,
this. It is the
Ended
most
off
garbage-
sorta okay,
How do
but
you- it ended
but
horribly.
it's my.
I feel like you're.
I
picking
started
this
off. I started off with Bleach.
Nah, he just doing this.
I feel
he
you
just
want
doing
like
this
have
just
some
piss
kind
me
of like
off.
controversy,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
some
Yeah,
sort of topic.
I was exactly gonna say that. I feel like he's only picking it to be controversial.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
in
I
all-
was
in all-
laughing
no,
about
In
it.
all,
no,
fair, in
no,
all fairness, I know Preet for almost like my whole entire life.
That's
He
crazy.
liked Bleach as well since then. So I guess he's just being a homer right now, sticking to Bleach till the end. But like,
It needs to come back. It needs to finish.
okay,
but
in
they
all
need
fairness,
to rewrite
um,
the manga.
okay,
Or
no,
the
okay. Well, they gotta do some
anime.
weird stuff because like the manga. Are any of you guys manga readers? Did any of you guys
No,
read
a
Bleach?
little bit.
Of
not too
Bleach
much.
specifically.
Bleach.
Well,
Yeah,
it's gonna
no,
be a
it's
spoiler. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, it's not gonna be a spoiler. Okay, whatever. We'll give them the gist of it though. But what ended up happening I'm pretty sure we've all watched the end of the anime though, did we?
Yeah. Yeah,
No.
I did.
No,
You know
dude,
what's
I stopped after the Soul
Okay,
Society stuff.
okay, okay.
150 episodes.
Likewise, likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what ended
And
up
that was amazing.
so
I'll
what-
tell you that much. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was one of the greatest arcs in anime. That's true. The
Yeah.
Soul
Was
Society
that-
arc.
Was that? Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, but that arc was like one of the greatest arcs ever. But in terms of the last bit that because Bleach never finished up properly, so it went into the manga. So the manga basically covers up the whole war arc, and because they have like this big war between the Quincy's and the Soul Reaper.
Spoilers.
And, yeah, I mean that's not technically a spoiler. I mean that's like the last arc explanation basically.
Well, it is.
But-
It is a spoiler
but
because
no,
not
the
everyone.
knows what the Quincy.
Not that. It's like they don't know how it would continue off from the anime.
No,
It
but
is- they don't know.
But it was a
it's-
strict follow up. Like right when the anime ended, where the anime ended, it went straight into that arc. It did.
I think we'll put like
Well, in
spoilers
the manga,
in the description.
Huh?
It
for
did
the
in the
specific
manga. It
anime.
did,
It was-
but
it was a straight
it
transition.
wasn't gonna explain it in the.
The anime
the-
never ended properly. Just how the
Exactly, but-
manga never ended properly. So
but-
basically what I'm trying to say is Bleach is crap.
Ooh.
That's what I'm trying to say here.
All right, all
No,
right.
no, it's number one.
Let's back it up to
Oh,
Full Metal
Ble-
Crapamus.
Oh,
All right.
Oh no, dude.
Yo, I'm pretty sure everyone with a brain would say Full Metal Alchemist. Okay,
Okay,
let's
first
you know
of all,
let's
all
leave
right,
Full Metal-
your logic is just complete garbage. All right, everyone in this world has not watched Full Metal Alchemist, and you know what? I'm just gonna say, Bleach is the best anime around. Everyone has their opinion, but my opinion is a fact.
Okay, so
So
like, what do you call it? So give me someone else. Give me another top 5. We can't do this into this.
Okay,
Give me
I'll
another
go.
top
I'll go
five.
next.
All right, let's go.
Braxton will go next. All right.
All right.
I just want to say first before I begin. There is one redeeming factor on Preet's list, and that is the fact that Bleach has some very good hentai. I have to say, like, come on, dude. Honestly, the games they released, mwah.
on point.
I think last hentai I've ever watched was the shit on Newgrounds adult. Of, like,
Oh yeah,
of like Teen Titans. And
they
like,
yeah.
I haven't
If
watched
you-
any of this stuff.
I mean-
but I haven't watched
I
any. I don't know
mean,
what you
it
guys
sounds
In
excited.
secrecy, we all know that Vedant
Yeah.
has checked out.
I could
the dark
add
web.
I could add an honorable mention hentai list right
Oh
now.
my goodness. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
let's
I mean,
take
I
your
think
top
we
five,
can
take-
save it for another
Yeah,
topic.
for
another
another
day.
topic.
Okay, so
I love how his mom like started calling his phone.
When we mentioned hentai.
she's like, "What are you talking about?"
She just knows. She just knows what you're talking about.
All right, so
That's hilarious. But wait, for those of you listening, his mom started calling his phone as soon as he started like talking about Bleach hentai.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
she knows. Sorry, mom.
Lovely timing. Lovely
Okay,
timing. Shout outs
so-
to mom. Shout outs to mom. All right, go on. It's all
Okay,
you.
so my list isn't in order because I don't like to rate them in order because I love them all, right? Like they're there for a reason, and the top 10s to me. So I'm going to start with Code Geass. Now Code Geass is pretty good.
Yeah, that's a solid
It's pretty good, but
pretty good, yeah.
it's not great. It's not awesome. It's not the best, and Bleach will always be.
Why,
But continue.
though? Okay, no, I want to hear your reasoning though. Why? Like Code
That
Geass
was-
is pretty. You'd be pretty hard pressed to argue Code Geass not being like pretty good at least.
It's
Why?
just, it's
So,
just the motivation
I-
for what he's doing. It's
Ichigo
never gonna happen.
Ichigo never had a motivation though. What was Ichigo's motivation in Bleach?
Well, he was
You know what?
protecting his family. is what
No,
his
no, no.
motivation
But
was.
like, you know, the reason why Bleach went downhill was because their main character kind of just like he had no goal. Like you look at Naruto. Naruto wanted to be the Hokage. He reached his goal. Code Geass, Lelouch had a goal. He reached that goal. Ichigo had no goal.
Ichigo had a goal
Well, I
of
mean, no,
protecting
no, no.
his
Okay, we're going off
his
topic.
family,
though.
his
We're
town, and you know what? I think at the end he accomplished what he wanted to
Alright,
accomplish.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay,
I haven't
also,
read it properly.
what Vedant
Yeah.
said, Lelouch's goal was to create a world where his sister can live peacefully, but he came back. So
Yeah.
obviously he didn't
So,
actually
yeah.
make that goal happen.
Spoilers.
I mean, come on. That's like in the beginning of the anime. The first thing
yo,
he said.
yo.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description for all the.
Like,
You know, I wasn't paying
I
attention.
keep
like,
forgetting.
that's
You know, I
fine.
keep forgetting. You have to
Oh.
watch.
There's
more.
certain anime that we shouldn't
That's
spoil.
all good,
Yeah,
guys. That's-
so-
that's all
Okay,
good.
I'll continue. I'll
Well,
continue. Alright.
Continue on your list, man. Continue on your list.
Alright, ReZero. ReZero.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, the
that's this one's iffy. This one's
This-
iffy.
this one's-
Considering it's
How
so
is it-
fresh and we don't know where it's gonna go
Yeah.
from where it ended, so
but I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm with you on that though. ReZero, I like ReZero.
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really was overall good anime. Like the first 25 episodes were just good anime.
I actually
you know?
think it was like the middle part got kind of slow for me. I think the
Really?
part where like spoiler alert again, I'm sorry about that, but the part where he's in the mansion and like things kind of
Yeah.
happen again
Like-
and again.
like I will say I didn't finish the anime because of exactly what Janelle's talking
Really?
about.
Yeah.
It was just like about I
He's
think
stuck in the mansion
3 or
part.
4 episodes when he's in the mansion. He just
So what is that, like episode like 8 or something, or 10?
around
Yeah,
like
around there,
10 to
something
like
like that.
14 or so.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And I was like, you know, it was repetitive, so I just
Yeah.
wanted to watch
Well,
something
that's
else
when it
instead.
got interesting. That's when like his world was breaking and like he disconnected with the one he wanted to be
yeah,
with.
to be honest, I felt like that part was the more entertaining part because like. I mean, you're thinking yourself because like, how the hell are you gonna get out of this mess? You keep going
Exactly,
back
yeah.
to the mansion over and over again. Like, how are you gonna get out of the mess, right?
Yeah.
Like, I understand it's a little bit repetitive, but like, it wasn't repetitive to the point where like the same thing exactly was happening over and over again. I mean, he had to do different things to figure out what he was doing was wrong.
Yeah, and he
right?
got further and further.
Yeah.
And it
away.
developed his character because he was forced to do these things to find a
Oh,
way
yeah,
to
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
fix these problems. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
I think one thing I liked about the anime was like no matter how many times he died, he was still scared of dying because like
Yeah.
no matter what,
Yeah.
like even if you die 100 times, the
Yeah.
101st time, you're still gonna be scared of that pain of like death and like you know, that's still kind of.
He feels everything that every time he
single
dies.
time,
It's
so
like it
that
doesn't
was-
get worse. He doesn't get used
yeah.
to the pain.
Wait,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, would you argue that Subaru is probably one of the most like realistic characters that you can probably relate
Yes.
to in your life?
Yes.
I think so.
He just
I
like
think
he's
so.
just
He's
like
like a regular
just a
person.
He's pretty
regular dude.
animated though. He's like, whoa, I'm doing this, and like, oh,
But, like,
I feel that's just like a trope of anime for characters.
but like it's kind of
like-
it's kind of
Yeah.
like, but I feel like if we were all in his situation where like we were kind of like good for nothing, doing nothing with their lives, and all of a sudden you get stuck into this point where you feel like you can be something, you'd be a lot energetic towards like that sort of lifestyle, right? Because
Yeah.
he got the second chance that
Yeah.
he wanted in life.
But then
and-
reality hit him, and then
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And
that happened towards the end though. But yeah,
Don't spoil it.
yeah.
well,
Spoilers.
that's not spoilers.
I mean, I didn't finish that.
Yeah. But
also
There's a lot of other people that haven't finished it either, right?
What's
It's
wrong
really
with
big.
you
And
guys?
considering it's pretty
What's wrong
fresh
with
though,
you
that's
guys?
the other thing. It's only
If you
been
haven't
like a
watched
couple years.
ReZero, do yourself a favor, just get to it when you can.
Yeah, watch it.
Yeah.
All
Also,
about fantasy world.
Emilia is number one. I'm just gonna say that now.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Okay, so
Somebody
Definitely.
must-
alright, Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood, and the first season.
Yeah.
okay, well,
More
We're-
more so the first season because I watched that first,
Yeah.
and because it was darker.
So yeah,
That's
yeah,
part of the reason
yeah.
I liked it. But I like to say the Brotherhood had like a, well, no spoilers right now, but I just like to say it had a better. I feel like it had a better ending than
Yeah,
the.
and it followed the
original.
manga. It followed the
Yeah,
manga.
it followed the
more.
That's
manga.
true, yeah.
But
Brotherhood was really epic though too, man.
Yeah.
In its own way, it was really epic.
But I just like how the first season conveyed more emotion and more darkness in it, so it wasn't so happy and you know
the
these good things
ending
that happened.
for that was
Yeah, it was
gruesome.
honestly.
Like, should we? I don't know. Should we spoil it? I'm so
No.
No, let's just say it was
But-
it was an
For,
ending
this is
that
for Brotherhood.
Huh?
Was
no
it
for the
Brotherhood?
first
For the
one.
first
Oh
one.
no.
Oh, the
Dude,
first one
no,
wasn't
no,
gruesome.
but hold on.
You
You
don't
guys, you
think
guys, you
so?
guys do,
Yeah.
you guys do realize that the ending was actually in the movies, right?
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
we all watch the movies?
I watched the movies.
I watched the first
I
one.
watched
The
all of them.
Conqueror of Shambhala, right?
All of them.
Yeah. Well, Conqueror of Shambhala actually is like the total end to the. He hasn't watched Conqueror.
To the
Shambhala. I don't
original
think he hasn't
anime.
watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he hasn't watched that stuff yet. Yeah, Conqueror of Shambhala's
Yeah.
ending.
You're right.
That
That's
was a
the
true
follow-up.
ending. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
follow
You're
up to that.
right.
Yeah,
Wow, I
yeah.
totally forgot about
Do you remember that scene when like you see someone sitting down on the chair?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember.
You
that.
know what you're talking
I
about,
remember.
right?
I know what you're
That
talking
was
about.
epic.
That
I was like,
epic.
oh, that's my boy.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
That was
And then
epic.
you know,
I can't
and
remember. Fuck.
Dude, honestly, I think the best scene in like both animes combined together was just like, let's go.
Yeah.
If you guys get that, you know what I'm talking about. You know what fight I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. It's simple. All right, yeah, but go on. What's your?
Okay.
Wait,
Next
was that
one.
number 2 or is that in order?
1, 2.
Is that in
three.
ascending order?
no, he's
No,
just
any
random
order.
any
order.
So
order.
that's 3 so far.
Okay.
He has a good list.
I have a great list.
Definitely.
I'm liking it.
Alright,
Yeah.
so and then now I got a classic from Bones, El Raka 7.
Yeah. Okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Have you guys seen
Fair
that?
enough.
Erica 7? Yeah.
Yes.
That's
That's
a strong one.
I love Renton's character. He's like it's
I
so
haven't watched it
reminiscent
though.
of how I wanted to be and how I wanted my life to kind of be adventurous and stuff.
Yeah.
And that came out like when we were around like what grade? Like
Grade 6 or something. Grade
Yeah.
6 or 5.
and I was like his
Yeah.
age, I was like, man, this guy's so cool.
2005, 2006. Yeah.
And then all that and then you see El Raka crash through I mean it's not a spoiler because come on.
I haven't
guys.
seen it. So
I haven't seen it.
It's
but
the
I
first
think-
episode. It's like it says it on the description. I think
I don't.
she like crashes through his house.
Oh yeah, I've seen the
Yeah, I
first
mean, yeah,
episode.
that's-
I've seen the
you're-
first
you're
episode.
describing the pilot.
That's
It's not
fine.
a
That's
big
fine.
deal.
It's not a big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when he like sees her, like he lights up and he feels a whole different feeling in him. Like oh, adventure. She's new. She's well. First of all, she's like oh yeah, she's hot. That's what he thinks. And I'm just
Yeah.
like at my age, I'm like yeah, she's hot, dude.
Of course.
Like,
I
I
was
do
like
it.
11. Come on.
What?
I mean, yeah, we were all
Yeah,
like 11.
exactly.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
But if you say that now, super iffy. I don't know about you. And
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that in the out in the ether. No
what's
comment
my
on that.
final number? Fuck, I don't know, man. I'm kind of conflicted because I have XXX Holic, which is made by Clown.
that one's great.
But
That's the it's like related to card captors. Or
Yeah,
something, right?
It's in the same universe.
I
And
didn't,
then
I didn't really understand.
Oh what?
it.
It's in the same universe as Card Captors.
well, it's like a
Yeah.
multiverse type of thing.
Oh okay.
I didn't.
I watched
understand.
Card Captors.
There's
So-
a
like
little bit, so.
there's actually another series that's related to that. So it's
Tsubasa Chronicles.
like Tsubasa Chronicles.
Yeah.
That's the other one.
And
That's
this is from the creators of Code Geass.
Code
Clamp.
Geass, Clamp,
So
yeah.
it's the same
Really?
production.
Yeah.
So they made all these animes.
Clamp's made some
and-
good anime.
Yeah.
the original story.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all there. It's like I think everything they make is just original to them, right? They have
Yeah.
no source material or anything,
Yeah.
which is why Code Geass was insane because they had no source material
Yeah,
either.
That's true. Yeah.
But I also have another anime on my list called My Goddess. I don't know if you guys watch it. It's like
I've heard of it.
Like,
What's that again? It's old, right?
yeah, like 20 maybe plus years old. It's really old.
Mhm.
It came out like 1980
spell
maybe.
this
All I know is that is an oldie but a goodie. And if
What's,
you
Fair
what's the premise?
okay, so
Is
this
it like
guy
slice of life?
It's romance, comedy,
Probably a little bit of ecchi in there as well.
etchy, definitely etchy.
Yeah.
Action, so it's everything. So this guy, he lives in Tokyo. He goes to Tokyo University at Tokyo Tech. He is a mechanic and he loves riding bikes. So what he does is he lives in a dorm with all these guys. He's got a beefy Jack. He's like a skinny, scrawny Japanese guy. I think he answers the telephone and some girl picks up the phone and then she goes through his mirror or something. I don't know. You have to watch it.
It's like the Ring shit.
It's like the Ring stuff, except
Maybe
she's
flashbacks.
cute. She has wings and she's an angel. Like it's like you're not like any girl. Think about your perfect 10.
Wait, when did you watch this?
And then have a
Like,
plot
must have
twist
been
at the
a while
end.
ago.
I think I was like,
She's
out to be a
she's
one.
actually the Ring girl.
yeah,
it's
that's
a
our
dude.
perfect 10. Dude, tomorrow, perfect 10. I love it.
It's a trap.
Wait, so
It's a
wait,
trap, yeah.
when did you watch it?
In high school, it might have been like grade 10 maybe.
Yo, listen, man. If the chick's a 10, it ain't real, yo.
It's not
It ain't
real.
real.
She
It ain't
no,
real.
she's real, dude. She was
It ain't
bae. She was bae, dude.
She was bae.
Wifey material.
During the
was-
day,
oh my
you
God.
don't know about night. She
Oh
could have
my
been.
God.
Would you say it still holds up? It's still
Oh
a good
my
way,
god, yes.
despite it being so
Despite
like
it being
20
so
year
old.
old, 20 years old or
I
whatever.
think that's the problem
That's-
with a lot of animes. They kind of like devalue
The old ones, yeah.
Especially the older art style, and then when
Yeah,
you're watching
yeah.
it, you got the
I-
4x3
I know
bars and
definitely,
everything.
Like, one reason why I haven't watched Cowboy Bebop, which is critically acclaimed,
Yeah.
is because of its old art style and the 4x3. My God, like
Yeah.
I can't watch it. I tried
You can.
twice.
I mean, the
What
art
they,
style
yeah,
is
tried
nice.
twice.
what they gotta
I'm
do is
trying.
they gotta just like remaster the whole entire thing and
have
just
to.
bring it back
They
HD
have to.
with the new frame and
Yeah,
everything.
new-
Because that's what they would Dragon Ball. I mean, Dragon Ball Z. Those were all in the old frames.
But the
with the
first,
back.
but the first time that they brought it back,
yeah.
the first
No,
time
not
that they
even
brought,
Kai. You just even the
no,
regular
for Z.
stuff.
So for
Yeah.
Z, the issue that they had is with fans, right? So the fans of the original, they're in 4x3, so they wanted to be faithful adaptation of the recreation and the remaster,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But what they ended up doing was they ended up pan and scanning, which is like they take
Yeah,
the
yeah.
image, they blow it up, and they
Yeah.
end up cutting off basically a bit of the top and the
I
bottom.
agree with that.
right?
I agree with that. That's
So
an
then
issue, that's
you
an
have
issue.
issues in the image where you're
Kinda
not
like-
seeing what they were originally intended to watch.
You basically just pick your poison
Yeah,
at that point.
which
like,
is
what do you
why,
want,
which is
basically.
why when they brought Kai into Blu-ray,
Yeah.
they just left it at the 4x3 aspect ratio, so you can actually see the entire image and what's going on.
is
in it.
that why?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because fans were like rioting, like they're like, why
at
would you
that
do
point,
it
why would
16
you-
by,
yeah.
or at least give an option, right, to do both?
Yeah, yeah.
But they didn't. They just
So
like
they just straight off cut off the image.
so like what they did was they blew it up, right? And then when 4x3 is it's taller, so the
No,
aspect
no,
ratio.
I thought they changed that. I thought they changed it up in Kai though, didn't they?
No, I'm
Didn't
talking.
they
I'm talking about the original.
Oh, you're talking
No,
about.
I'm not talking about Kai.
Oh, okay.
So for the original
when they released
4x3, they blew it up, they stretched it out, and then what ends up happening is they end up cutting the top and bottom bars off. So some people did some screenshot comparisons, and you're like cutting off parts of characters' bodies and their faces and such. So
Well, for
It's not
me,
faithful.
I'd rather watch it in 4x3 so I get the whole image and you know how it was originally.
yeah, so that's why they were
guess
catering
so,
to
yeah.
older fans for Kai when they
Yeah.
remastered
I
it.
wish I had the mentality.
I don't think I have
Oh,
an
you can't?
issue with
No.
the I don't think I have an issue with the 4x3 or just like 16:9 whatever
Mhm.
it is. I have an issue with the animation itself.
Yeah,
Like
just-
I can, I
and
can,
the
I can,
art quality.
Yeah, the
and
art
everything.
quality. I feel like I have a problem with that. Like
Yeah.
if it was like just good animation, then it doesn't matter like what frame rate it's in.
I feel like some of those shows hold up. Like I feel like Dragon Ball, you can still watch Dragon Ball
Yeah.
and it holds up because it was
Yeah.
so done so well
It was done
originally.
so well, yeah.
Yeah, like there's
So,
not an issue
I
for
agree
that.
with that. So that was your number one. Okay, would you say that these are a couple of homer picks just because you watched a lot of these when you were younger?
Yeah,
That's
Honestly,
true, yeah.
it's not just nostalgia. I can come back to these. I come back to these frequently actually, and
Mm.
as I am now, like I can still say I enjoy it just as much as I did when I was a kid, when I was younger.
Fair enough.
'Cause it holds up. It actually holds up.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say. Okay, Eric 7. Would you say that's the best mecha anime? I don't know. You gotta think this through, man.
You just said it.
I'm saying, I'm just asking him, like, what's his opinion? Does he consider that like
That's a toughie.
Yeah.
But you know,
because like okay, a lot of like Code Geass for instance is technically a mecha anime,
it is.
but it's more than just a mecha anime,
Mhm.
right? So you can't kind of just like say that it's just because it had a good story, it was a good mecha anime. No,
Mhm.
that's not the case, right? We've seen better animes.
So you're saying like, is it a good mecha anime because it's a mecha anime and not because it's like a love story and it just happens to have robots and
Does it hold up on its own as
Yeah.
opposed to
As
just
a mecha anime.
yeah, as
anime.
just
Yeah,
opposed
yeah.
to just being a
Yeah,
mecha
yeah,
anime
exactly.
for the fighting and whatnot.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you.
So wait, your question was like, is it good as a mecha
Oh
anime?
yeah, is it good as a mecha
based
anime?
solely
Yeah.
on just it being mecha,
Yeah, I think so.
I would have to say yes.
But what about you look at things like Gundam, for instance, which is like made a name on
The original.
Okay,
being a mecha anime.
I
Or
guess
like
we could,
Neon
I guess we
Genesis
could say Gundam
Evangelion.
would be the best mecha anime series, but because it's on my list and I don't regard it as being top 5 for me, or even top 6 is what I made this to be. I would say Eureka 7 would be top because not only does it have mecha, And just disregarding the love scene, the romance and all that, the mechs evolve. They add character, they add depth. They're not just linear.
I remember that story pretty distinctly, and the character development in that anime was really good.
Yeah,
Everybody
I've
was,
heard of that.
Basically a different person by the end of the
Exactly,
anime.
yeah.
Yeah, but okay.
And the
but
mechs added to that. It wasn't just the mechs was add-on. They were
But
actually part of the character.
But I mean, you can kind of say there's a lot of arguments that you can make with that. Okay, like I suggest that the Gundam series is probably the most popular mecha series. I guess they're the most popular. They wouldn't be I wouldn't say they're the best one.
They're the originals.
They're the
So there's
original.
everyone
Yeah.
gets a nod back to the Gundam.
Yeah, yeah.
In terms of mecha.
But like I feel like in terms story wise, what about Neon Genesis?
Okay, alright, that has to be on the list now. Top 7.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
mentions.
Well, I mean, what about Neon Genesis?
Alright,
What
Neon
about that?
Genesis, I think, has to be one of the best mech animes, psychological animes ever.
Like I personally like Neon Genesis. Like I gotta watch the thing again, man, because I watched it and I did not understand. a
Let's
single
go
thing that
went over your
happened.
head.
It went over my head. It was one of the most complicated animes to realize. So
Yeah.
props on you for figuring it out. Like I might have
Yeah.
to like go and like check out the whole history behind it.
I'd also have to say, just fair warning, if you watch the movies, don't watch it all in one day like I did.
Yeah.
I went through a binge watch of all 4 movies, with 4 movies for Neon Genesis.
Mhm.
I wanted to kill myself. I was so depressed. Like, you do not want to watch all the
Yeah,
movies in one
it's a
day.
pretty crazy.
It's
depth,
pretty.
man.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Like for my fair opinion, I feel like obviously like Gurren Lagann is on my list, so obviously I consider that the best mecha anime, just because the influence that the Gurren Lagann had, and it was like it's not like an American thing, it was like a Japanese thing that translated over to the American thing, what I'm saying, which is like a pretty big deal. Normally it's the other way around. Normally it's the American going towards the Japanese, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
So I feel like in that sense, like Gurren Lagann would probably, and it was like a strictly like a straight up mecha anime as well, and obviously the storyline was insane too.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I don't know, I'd go with Gurren Lagann, but everyone has their own opinions. Fair enough. Neon Genesis though,
Neon Genesis
you
is
have
pretty
to-
controversial.
it's a controversial one because a lot of people don't understand it. The ones that do get it, they
Like
think
their,
it's the
it's
best
their
anime.
favorite
Yeah, it's
anime,
their favorite
and there's
So
like
good.
nothing else can touch it.
Yeah,
kinda.
exactly.
I'm not gonna say it's my nothing can touch it. I'm just gonna say it's one of the best. And it's very
In terms of
hard to
in terms of mecha anime,
Yeah.
I feel like it's
It
like
sets
at
the
that
bar,
point, it
yeah.
sets the bar basically at that sense. So yeah, but a pretty decent top 5. I like that. I like
beat.
that.
Yeah, actually, it was top 7 I think at the end.
Well,
Right?
fair enough.
Yeah, no, it was top 7.
Fair
It was
enough.
solid. It was a solid top 7.
Fair enough.
Thanks.
Fair enough. All right.
Alright,
who's
moving
next?
on.
Janelle.
Okay, I guess I'm next. I have a few written down, so I'm gonna have to eliminate some. This list is gonna be pretty different. I'm a corny, cheesy guy. Like, I like my romance.
Oh yeah, fair
So
enough.
I don't know if you guys are like gonna agree with me on a lot of these. So
I'll agree.
Yeah?
I'll agree. I've watched a lot.
Yeah.
are you like into
They're really
romance
good.
animes at all?
Yeah,
Yes.
I watched a lot.
I
watched
watched
a
too
lot.
many, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so my
You all gotta imagine your love lives.
I think
We can't get it, so must imagine.
You gotta live through the characters.
Oh boy.
how do you think VR is a popular?
Yeah, dude. I bought
VR
VR
chat.
to watch VR porn. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to borrow that from
This
you.
is why we haven't
You're
seen
gonna
him
have to
in a
clean it
while.
up after though, or before. This isn't in any particular order, but my first one for this list is gonna be Toradora.
Yeah.
All
Totoro
right.
was good.
Yeah, that's
Totoro was
good.
nice.
That's
I like
great.
that.
That
Totoro
was
was
a
nice.
great love
classic
story.
I
romance.
totally forgot about that anime.
That was
actually.
sad as hell
That's
too,
so
man.
good.
It was sad, and then like
So
at
sad.
the end, it was happy. Like
Yeah.
that was like just a roller coaster of
Yeah.
of emotions.
It was really sad.
Yeah.
You didn't
What was
watch
that blue
right?
head girl's
I
name?
haven't.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
the,
new.
Ami.
so.
Yeah, honestly, Ami was like, she was
Ami-
number 1 to me. Like,
Ami was cute, man.
she was wifey. The
Yeah,
wifey.
Yeah, that was a good romance anime.
good.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Is
Toradora.
this in a particular order or?
No,
No,
it's just
particular
random.
order. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I feel weird for saying this now, but No Game No Life is gonna have to be
Oh,
up there.
there you go.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
just-
Wow.
12
think-
episodes of beautiful.
I think one thing I should mention is that I have my anime list account, and not all of these are 10s. Like, I have a list of 10s, and I'm not gonna put them in my list just because I didn't enjoy them as much. I'm like
Fair
also
enough.
adding in my
Understandable.
own personal enjoyment into
Yeah.
this list. So this is
Because there's certain things that you can objectively say are
Exactly,
really
yeah.
good, but
And-
personally yourself, you might not have been attached to those animes.
exactly, you said it. And
Yeah.
this isn't an objective list. This is like my top 5. So yeah, No Game No Life, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood,
Yes.
of course,
Yep,
classic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we gotta change up the list, guys. We have Full Metal Alchemist for 3,
But
and
these are
then
just so well
Code
rounded.
Geass
though.
for 2.
I mean,
but
I feel if somebody doesn't have Fullmetal Alchemist on their list, they're
Well, I mean,
something's going. Someone's
it
wrong.
means-
yeah,
it means-
someone's
Hold
got
on,
means
is
you
this
guys
3
are-
for 4 now?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
you guys are not expanding your horizon.
And no one has Bleach yet
And,
on their
uh,
list.
Yeah. Did you finish your list?
No.
Huh?
No,
Did you
he's
finish
still.
it up?
No, no, no.
Okay.
So there's that, and I think this one's kind of a controversial one. I'm gonna have to put Clannad after
Yes,
story.
yes,
under
I
zero.
agree with that. Clannad, that is one of the best
And I
romantic
think-
anime. Romance anime. This is the best one. That is the
Finish
best
the
one.
year.
Yeah, or
Just
was a
a
roller
side note
coaster.
there,
I haven't
though,
seen it, so
not the original Clannad because
After
that
Story?
actually was ass. The original Clannad.
No, that
No,
original one was
I feel
pretty
like,
good.
yo, you needed the original one
No,
to get to the
100%.
after story.
100% you needed the original to get to after story, but like just kind of scoring them on their own separate terms, Clannad was garbage. But you
Compared
you
to-
needed that for after story.
Okay, I think it's easier to say that between the two series, Clannad was probably more of the lighthearted one, where like more
Yeah.
like, it was
Yeah.
it was
There's
more
more
of like
comedy.
it was more of an
Comedy
harem. It was like a
stuff.
harem. It was more of a harem type of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Like
that's how
one
you
guy,
build
like
up
a-
the character to
Yeah,
come
that's
out
it.
after
Right,
story.
right, yeah.
And then after story is just like the feels, man. The too many
Yeah,
feels.
I
I just
haven't
want to put it
seen
out
it.
there
I
that I'm
haven't
currently
seen it
watching
yet.
Clannad, so
Haven't seen it.
Oh, shoot.
So
okay.
Okay, well,
spoilers.
Um,
First is good.
okay,
Second
good,
is
because I was actually
good.
going to talk about the ending. I'm just going to say it really broadly. I think a lot of people don't like after story simply because of that weird ending.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything more than that though. But
Okay, the thing is, the visual novel. It was a visual novel, right?
Okay.
So
So it was
it's
an
kind
adaptation
of
of that.
hard to adapt a visual novel into an anime, and which is
Right.
why I feel like Steins Gate is a great anime because they actually adopted their visual novel
Very well,
perfectly
yeah.
into the anime.
How
right?
would you hear about When They Cry?
Yeah, when they cry, that's what I was
Braxton?
saying. This is exactly what I was saying. Okay, not to get a little bit off topic, but this is exactly
That-
why
yeah,
I
that's
said Hellsing Ultimate is not even top 5 in its horror genre because I think When They Cry, another, right? I even think the other is a
In terms of
sequel.
horror?
I
in
don't
terms of
know
horror, When
if
the Seagulls
another
Cry.
is that
When the
up
Seagulls Cry.
there.
Another was a good anime.
It was good,
12
but I
episodes.
don't
think
know
a
if it
good horror
was
anime.
really up
It-
I
there.
don't know if it
though.
was top.
It was good, but I feel like the ending and how it kind of ended off was
Yeah.
not.
I think
I
It was
agree.
anticlimactic.
Yeah,
a
it was
little
anticlimactic,
bit.
yeah.
It's very hard to end a horror
Okay,
anime,
okay,
I
okay.
will say.
The thing is, when it comes to like horror animes, another basically kind of just kept the same tone throughout the whole entire.
It
that
kept the
dark-
suspense. It kept
the
you
dark
wanting to watch
suspense
more like
tone
what's
the whole
happening.
entire time. You know,
Yeah.
and in that sense, I feel like it did a really good job because a lot of animes go like sidetrack and like you know lose the main focus of the series, right? Which I feel like another did a really good job at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Now
Oh,
you're
wow.
now you have me thinking of like other what are
Future-
some other horror animes? just
Future
in general?
Diaries.
Future Diaries.
Yeah,
but
Mirai
feel-
Nikki,
but-
Mirai
but-
Nikki.
but-
Mirai Nikki, I haven't seen it, but
to
I
be
heard good
honest,
things.
yeah, but to be honest, I don't consider Future Diaries like more of like a horror anime. I consider it more of like a psychological
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
psychological.
But
Corpse Party. Has anyone heard of that?
Corpse
Deadman
Party?
Wonderland
Yeah,
is pretty
Corpse
good.
Party, yeah.
But I don't think
Yeah, that's not
it's not
horror.
horror either.
It's not
Because
horror, yeah.
there's a difference between horror and gory. Otherwise, you could say like Elf and Lead. That thing was just gory as hell.
That
when
was
you watched
gory.
it.
I
Like,
guess,
There's
yeah.
no point. There's no point of watching an anime with just a bunch of blood, right? You want to
Yeah.
hear like if you want proper horror anime, I'd say Another and When They Cry were probably one
Yeah,
of the
I feel
best of the
more
best.
like psychological horror that
Yeah.
kind of sticks with the viewer even
Yeah.
after they watch the show.
Yeah,
Like
like-
talking about it, thinking about
I
it.
want to say the scariest anime I've seen is High School of the Dead. Definitely,
Oh,
it's
yeah. Yeah, of
more
course, of
realistic and
Of course.
I feel like the physics were
physics
were
are
very
great,
scary.
yeah.
They scared me each time.
Of course.
I mean, I just had to turn off the first episode when I saw those
Of
physics.
course. It cleared that sarcasm, right, guys? Overall, you guys out there watching the sarcasm.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
I
but-
actually jacked off to it. But
Oh my goodness.
all right. Well,
Hey,
continuing
at
on.
least someone else is willing to say it.
At least we understand what their audience is.
There,
Yeah.
there you go. There you go.
also, rest in peace, the creator. He died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
rest in peace,
Oh
yeah,
right,
rest in
true,
peace,
true.
yeah.
For the manga, right?
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
Okay, right. So rest of my top 5.
Pingu in the City.
Wait, I think did I mention 3 or 4?
You
you
mentioned
mentioned
four.
4.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to make this a top 6 just
Okay,
to throw
fair enough.
ReZero in there. ReZero was like honestly, if I had to score it objectively, I'd probably give it an 8. But
Yeah.
because I just enjoyed it so much and like just came back to it week after week when it was airing, it was just so good at the time. So
I feel like it's kind of hard to judge animes before they're even complete. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
When
Well, I
the
mean,
first
but-
season came out.
okay,
But you can still judge it in the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How you
Like,
still feel
just
about
as
it.
its own thing.
Like,
you
for
know?
example,
but a lot of animes can get canned too right now. Like there's some, there probably
That's
might be
true.
some animes that aren't in our top 5 just because like they haven't finished yet and we don't know exactly how the
Fair
ending's gonna go. Right?
Fair enough. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Understandable.
yeah.
But also, like, I'll give an example. I think a lot of people, who have read the manga, would say Attack on Titan,
Yeah.
especially after
It's
the
like-
first
yeah.
2 seasons will just go downhill
Yeah,
off
yeah.
a cliff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
agree
definitely
with that.
overrated.
So-
I agree with that.
So if that can happen with any anime that
That
hasn't
can happen with
completed.
any- it can,
That's
it can
true.
be at a like Bleach for instance.
No,
It was at a rise and
Yeah.
then just went downhill crashing,
Yeah.
man. Like,
Yeah.
But Attack on Titans was really overrated.
okay. Okay, but go
I-
on. Go on.
I kinda
go
have
on.
to
I mean, I will say it is overrated,
Oh, there we go. We got
But-
3.
but it's just because of the hype, and in terms of it got everyone in the world talking about it. Like basically, Attack on Titan kind of got me back into anime.
Yeah.
Wanted to explore more anime when I was because I'll tell you this after after Death Note and Bleach, when Bleach just fell off a cliff, I was kind of like, I'm kind of done with anime. Like,
Yeah.
Bleach made people lose faith.
Like,
in
after
watching
after the
anime.
Soul
That's how
Society
bad it
arc,
was.
I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's very boring, very like just filler.
Yeah.
You know what it ended for me? When Ichigo didn't end up banging Rukia. And I'm being serious. Like, I was like, wait. You're going to tell me that you're going to go with, what's his name? Ryuju or?
No. First
You-
of all, spoilers.
Yeah, first of all,
Fuck,
spoilers.
ah!
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
And now, if you
forgetting.
want to continue, her name is Orihime.
There you go.
No, Rukia. Rukia was number 1. I don't care about Orihime.
Oh, she ended up with the other dude.
Yeah. I
And
hate.
not
I
Ichigo,
did
yeah.
not like
Oh,
that.
Renji.
That actually hurt me.
Yo,
That
Braxton
hurt
has a
me.
lot of like fits like this where like he just goes crazy over the anime.
I feel like that's like an anime trope where they don't actually end up with the girl you think
Yeah,
they're
like
gonna end up
Naruto
with.
and
Yeah,
Sakura.
yeah.
What
Like,
was that?
that's a bit
Oh my
really
God.
big
Spoilers.
anime trope.
Another spoiler. This guy
Spoilers.
just was on fire today, guys.
Hey, if we're on the spoiler train right now, I'm gonna throw in Nisekoi too. Or actually, no, Nisekoi does the opposite, where it's like, that it's gonna be the girl that they introduced.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I
Yeah.
think we should just beep everything out.
just
Hey, if you don't
Oh.
like spoilers,
that's like half this podcast.
I said we should just beat the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said we just get out of this room right now and stop
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty hot in here, so yeah.
Yeah, okay, and then my last one's gonna be Chunibyo. Have you guys watched that?
Chunibyo?
I watched the
haven't
first
seen
season.
haven't
I
seen
liked
that,
it.
no.
Yeah, the first season was
first
great.
season, yeah.
Second one kind of fell off.
Does
So
she have an eye patch?
yeah,
Yes,
that's
that
the
one.
girl. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that first season was really good. It was really heartwarming. So
Yeah.
I don't know, that one's definitely a personal, and it's not gonna suit everybody's taste. So
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
that's fine.
So many people recommend that to me, but I'm like, it feels too bubbly almost. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I understand. That's why it's like not for everybody. Like it's just a particular romance anime that some people are gonna like.
Mhm.
All right,
That's
and
fair.
Now for the best for last.
Oh.
We have,
I wouldn't say it's the best.
yeah,
Maybe
Yeah.
to me, but I will say I'm a bit of a novice. Like I said earlier, I
Yeah.
stopped watching anime after Bleach. Basically, when I got into high school, I stopped watching
lost
anime.
Faith, lost faith.
Yeah.
in
Lost,
after Bleach.
lost faith.
I
No,
don't blame you.
I kind of lost faith after Death Note because I love Death Note, right? And that's what got me into the renaissance of anime,
Mhm.
right? So my list, there's a good mix of nostalgia and there's some mix of some anime that is justly rated, but I feel like not enough people have heard of it or watched these.
Fair enough.
anime
Yeah, I
shows.
always have a good like nostalgic
Yeah.
entry. So
And it's not in any particular order. It's just whatever
Jumped
it
up.
is.
Perfect.
Okay, first off, let's get the big normie international
Pokemon.
Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Really, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Ooh.
Alright,
Just wow, that's actually a really interesting
I-
one.
I will say this is on my list. One, it's the first anime I've ever seen,
Mhm.
and I just have a lot of nostalgia with it. I would come home from elementary school and I'd watch it with my brother like every day. When I was
Okay.
in that was Z, and Dragon Ball I just recently watched like about a year and a half ago, and I just gone through that and I was rewatching Dragon Ball Z.
I don't think you can ever go wrong with Dragon Ball Z. To be
Yeah,
honest.
Dragon
So,
Ball
but
and Dragon Ball Z.
this is within the moment, right? Of like when you watched it.
This is I still rewatching it. I still really enjoy the anime, but also I have nostalgic goggles for the anime when I was younger,
Fair
so
enough,
I just
yeah.
have
Yeah.
Understandable.
more connection to the anime. Okay, another anime I'd put on the list is Death Note, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, that was my like renaissance back into anime.
Yeah.
And at that point, I would say that was my favorite anime,
Yeah, fair
Death
enough.
Note. And
That one got you into it, and Bleach got you out.
Death
I
Note's
don't
just-
know, well,
I
I
was
don't know
I
about
was
that.
I was
don't know about
watching
that.
Bleach and Death Note at the same time, but it's just that whole arc after the Soul Society. Soul Society arc was amazing.
Or after that.
Yeah.
After that arc, it just turns into trash.
Gotcha.
I couldn't watch it anymore.
You had to have patience. You just needed. To
I think there
sit-
was like
No, it's
50
the-
episodes of patience.
I think you
I had to
needed
have, which is
I
a
need
full
to sit-
season. I don't have the time to sit through
Well,
nothing.
Well, I don't know.
I've-
If you can watch Goku charge up a spirit bomb for 10 episodes, then
Yo, I'd
I mean,
rather
I'm-
watch that.
Wait,
than
well,
watch
well,
them.
it's
Oh,
different when you're like 7 and you got nothing going on.
That's true,
what-
yeah.
But now you're actually gonna waste your time watching that.
that's true. That's
Okay,
true.
for everyone, I would recommend if you haven't seen Dragon Ball Z, I would say watch Kai,
Yeah.
and not particularly watch. There's if you search up on Reddit the Bruce Falconer
Yeah, the Bruce
soundtrack.
Falconer,
Somebody on Reddit actually compiled the Bruce Falconer soundtrack from the original Dragon Ball Z on the American version,
Yeah,
and they put it into Kai, and it matches up perfectly.
Really?
So
Yeah, so that's actually
Vegeta's
pretty dope.
theme when everyone.
Wait, so then this version is a Reddit made version?
So somebody took the audio from the original, and then you have to compile it yourself. So you download the audio files, and then you just use like a simple compiling tool. It takes like 10 seconds each episode, and it just puts the new audio track over it,
Really?
and it matches up perfectly, and it's amazing. I
How
think
do they do that? 'Cause
I have
then-
I have no idea.
That's
He
so-
put a lot of
Technology's so
time into
advanced.
it, like
That's crazy.
like
Put
it's,
a lot of
it's
time,
crazy, yeah.
We created a whole series out of that. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah. And
Can
it's
I
still
do?
going
Can
on.
I do that with like Sailor Moon and then put Attack on Titan
Yeah.
soundtrack over
Yeah.
it, that would be
You could.
crazy.
You could, but
could.
also the voice tracks are not gonna work.
right,
Right?
yeah.
Like he had to match up the voice track and the audio tracks.
Oh my god.
Like he just
I can't-
edit it himself each episode. And
That's
funny thing is,
crazy.
Kai's not even done yet, so he's still doing it.
Holy
Yeah, because
smokes.
the Blue
That's
Saga's going
Yeah,
on,
the Boo Saga has. I think it ends up
What's
end
his
of the
Reddit
year.
name? What's his handle? Do we know?
I don't know, but I think the first result when you Google it, Bruce Falconer, Dragon Ball Z Kai,
Bruce Falconer, gotcha.
it'll pop up for
Okay.
on the Reddit post. Yeah,
That's
so
interesting.
that was what I said for Dragon Ball Z. Then I said Death Note is my other one, and another one that I watched about 2 years ago now, or a year and a half ago. It was the first form of anime I watched in this type where it's more like heartfelt and it's about the characters and what the struggle they go through, and that is Anohana.
Oh,
Really,
That was
really-
actually gonna be on my list.
Yeah,
It
I
took an
really,
hour.
really
I haven't
felt
watched
it.
that yet.
Yes,
so-
dude. Yes.
Like
So-
that
me.
like I'll tell you this much.
No,
get
no
spoiled in that.
spoilers.
No spoilers. I'll tell you this much. I'm not a guy to get like emotional from an anime or like tear up. This anime, I was like an inch, like so close.
Yo,
The end. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but
Yeah.
how the anime like starts and how it finishes.
yo, there's too many feel moments in there,
It's
man.
perfect.
It's
like
perfect.
11 episodes.
And it's
just
only
towards-
13
I don't know how you
episodes.
didn't. I cried.
Like, dude, I was
That
like
was-
about to.
That
The ending,
The
holy.
the last.
The
oh my
last
God.
episode,
It
like-
got to me too. I agree with
It
you.
was
It got
definitely
such-
a watch.
I know.
so good.
Anohana was like likewise same thing. It was like the first like emotional
Yeah.
anime that I've ever watched.
No, actually,
so.
no. I disagree with that.
Clannad.
Clannad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that and
That
those
was the
two,
first
those two,
one.
Yeah.
those two.
Clannad
Like-
actually got me pretty good, man.
Like I think maybe considering how you guys are talking about Clannad, that might have made my list. But
Yeah.
I'm currently watching Clannad, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna get to Apple Story afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After, yeah.
So yeah,
Maybe Angel Beats.
I know how.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I totally forgot that.
I like how everybody's like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
an underdog."
agree.
Yeah.
This is a pretty big one too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would just put Anohana because it was the first major one, and it stuck with me. I'm still thinking about
Anohana.
the.
That's a great one. That's
Yeah.
a great one.
And then another one. Well, this one everyone on the table has already stated, but a certain person sitting across from me has not. Thinks it's overrated, and that is Fullmetal Alchemist.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about Brotherhood. I haven't seen Brotherhood
Really okay.
because I've seen. Because I saw Fullmetal Alchemist, the original, not too long ago,
Yeah.
and I feel
It's good.
I tried to start Brotherhood, and it was just the same storyline. I think it's
There-
gonna have.
Episode
There's-
after episode like 8
search
or
up on
something.
Reddit. They'll give you like an actual guide of like just start here to skip
No, but
basically all of the
there
original
are
form.
certain there are well there is a
Well, the
certain
beginning
period-
starts
It's the same.
differently. It
Like,
starts
legit-
differently.
No,
I think
but the
it's like the-
story beats of.
No, it's like the first 7 episodes are like almost the same.
Yeah, they're very
all-
similar.
No, okay. Spoiler alert, right? But I'll tell you right now, all the homunculi are all like differently named
Yeah,
and stuff.
they're
That's the
completely
issue here.
different,
That's
yeah.
the issue. That's why you have to watch from start to
okay.
beginning.
No, but
because
yeah.
when the original Fullmetal Alchemist anime was going on,
Yeah.
right, the manga hadn't finished up yet. So
Mhm.
what they ended up doing was they hadn't showed all the homunculi yet, so they made up their own homunculi and gave them a bunch of names before the manga finished up.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Really? I don't remember that.
So that's the thing in Brotherhood. Yeah, okay, well I would spoil it right now, but you know we gotta let it. We gotta let it for you. Yeah,
Gotcha.
but
Let me spoil it. I got it. I want to
But I,
roll.
but I will
no
say
spoiling.
the original
I'm on a
reason
roll,
was
baby.
that I had like Fullmetal Alchemist fatigue. That I just didn't want to jump back into
That's the
that.
other thing,
I'd rather
too.
watch something
Fair
fresh
enough.
and new that I haven't seen.
Yeah,
Fair
go
enough,
go cold turkey on that Forbidden.
Yeah, and then I'll just get back to it like
Yeah.
a rewatch. kind of.
Brotherhood's actually better.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
You know
sure.
what?
Oh, no,
That-
debatable,
that-
debatable.
That
Because
I feel like Brotherhood. I mean,
I did not like the Fullmetal Alchemist ending. I just
first
feel
of all, you
like-
haven't watched the movie.
Yeah,
either,
you have
so-
to
Yeah.
watch the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the true ending.
Yeah, you have
Okay.
to watch.
That's
But
the
from the
movie.
from the anime ending, I did not like how it ended.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that
I
was
can-
kind of,
that's
it was
why-
kind of random.
Because
So
you have to watch the movie, right? It just
Yeah.
kind of drills off.
But I
the
feel
I
movie.
like you
actually liked how it ended. It was like really dark.
Did you
and
like
But it was dark, but it just like you kind of like what's going on. Like
It's too sudden.
you don't know the future. Like
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
and
you
it
don't
made
know
me
what's
really
happening.
sad when we came to help Ed, and then after that,
spoilers.
oh
my
god,
God.
God, dude, I'm so good at it.
I just want to say the Brotherhood ended for
I didn't say
me.
anything, dude.
It ended for me when a certain dog and a certain girl
Oh my goodness.
met
That's
their.
I think-
already ended, though. That's
But-
already ended.
I think
That's already
there are
ended.
way too many
Yeah, yeah,
memes
just-
for you not to
Um,
know about what this episode is. So
I mean, these animes are old. Am I really spoiling anything at this point?
No,
I feel like I'm
you
not.
are. You
I
are.
think you should just.
I mean,
Dude, Amardeep
I mean,
here.
for
I
example,
mean,
I
you've seen it. Though.
We can literally just bleep out
That
every
was that
single
was
word.
That wasn't
that
anime.
was in the anime.
That wasn't
yeah,
anime.
that's
So that
fine.
wasn't a
But
spoiler.
that's fine.
That broke my heart
Yeah.
though. I'm not
Okay,
happy.
and my final anime on the top 5 list, I would say I recently watched this. It was highly recommended on my anime list. I feel like not too many people have seen the anime or know about it. Maybe they've heard about it in passing, but that's Showa Genroku Rakugo.
Oh, I've heard great things about this one.
I have not heard
This
of
just
it.
came out a few years ago. Right?
2000. There's 2 seasons. So the first season and the second season, it ended in 2016.
Okay, what's the
Yeah.
English translation?
How do you spell this?
Yeah.
SHOUWA space GENROKU and then space RAKUGO.
It's like
Descending
what's the
Stories?
premise? It's like a film, like a drama club or something.
So okay, the basic
Oh, I've
premise.
seen this.
So this anime it starts.
yeah, this one is definitely underground, but I hear lots of people.
If
talking
you
about
go to
this.
my anime list, it's on the first page.
yeah,
Like I think it's top 25 on my anime list.
wow.
But nobody talks about it.
I gotta get to this.
And I think a lot of people like the second season more, but I prefer the first season, just because it's the original characters. So
Yeah.
so the basic premise of the show is it's set in pre-World War II Japan, and at that time Japanese culture and just international culture it relied heavily on at that point radio communications like the radio
Just
was
started-
becoming a thing, like
yeah.
very popular household kind of people were having it in their homes. But before that, in Japanese culture, they had this thing called rakugo, which is Japanese traditional storytelling. So what people would do is they would pay money and they would go to the theater and they'd have these different men perform these traditional stories that have been passed down.
I feel like I'm watching a Vice documentary right now, but keep going.
That they would recite these stories that have been passed down generations, like a couple hundred years. That's just word of mouth. And people would there are different types. There's comedies, there's dramas. It's kind of like I would compare it to like Shakespearean theater, but
So it's all men, right?
it's the performers are all men.
And they
yes.
would play female characters like in
So
like in Shakespeare.
so they would play they could play multiple characters in the same story. So
I have
that
to pick this up just from that description. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah,
It's
and-
interesting. It's like
yeah.
unique. Yeah.
and it's about this time because the time period, like I said, it's when the radio's coming in. So it's a very popular traditional thing, but now that the radio's coming in, people are turning into stepping away from going to the theater to watch these traditional storytellers, and they're losing their art form. So
Okay,
and these rakugo storytellers, they're called the main guy in the story. He's called the Yakumo. He's like the head of the house for training new rakugo students. There's multiple Yakumos.
Yeah.
Right.
So he takes in each year. There's less and less people coming in that want to be mentored and be like a protege. So he takes in children that are I don't know about like 10, 11, and he trains them for like a decade. Basically, he adopts these kids from families, generally from families that are well known to him and have come from somewhat of a wealthy background to carry this tradition. But in the show, he takes on an apprentice that was very subdued, kept to himself. The name of the character was I have to get back to you on that one. It's been a bit, but
It was Ichigo from Bleach.
no, it's not Ichigo from
They're wrong, Bleach.
Oh,
No, you put Bleach
Yeah.
in the anime because we would.
yeah, but yeah. So the character when he was brought to him, I think it's like Yorakute or something like that. He was very shy, very subdued, kept to himself, doesn't talk to any antisocial character, and he was basically forced to go into the Yakumo and go into this school because his mom wanted him to do something with his life.
Is this spoiler territory or is this?
No, this is just the first episode. I'm just telling you what it is.
Okay.
And then at the same time, there's another kid that just runs along to the Yakumo as this other boy is going, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna be a student here. And you find this boy's like he's wearing like tattered clothes, like he's like homeless, like he's wearing tattered clothes, and the teacher says, no, I'm only taking on one student. I'm not taking on another student. So the kid, what he does is he ends up reciting one of the rakugo stories he heard.
Oh shit.
That he heard,
Yeah.
and the Yakumo loved it. He ends up
took him
taking in
in.
both of them.
So
So
that's what
the
happened,
whole story of the show is about their dynamic between both of them, and it's about them on one end wanting to keep rakugo going, the spirit of rakugo for future generations, and also
this, like,
competing with one another to become the
that's
next
awesome, yeah.
Yakumo.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
And that's just the first season,
So it's
and
like more
then
like a political type anime?
no, it's not political anime.
drama.
Yes,
It's
yes,
a
drama.
drama,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot. It's like a roller coaster of emotions at certain points,
No,
and I don't want to spoil anything,
Right,
but
fair enough.
it's very good.
fair enough.
And the second season, I don't want to talk about that,
Yeah.
but it's not like the same.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
That was a strong list. That was a strong list.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
There's way
haven't
better
seen too
than
many.
Vedant's for sure.
I haven't seen that
Oh my
many anime,
goodness.
but
I mean, I have to agree.
definitely
Yeah.
on the list.
A little bit.
It's pretty
A little
good.
bit.
Okay, but
So
like,
I'm glad we left him for last because he actually explained everything,
Yeah.
why he liked it, and we just
But I know for
It's
that
pretty good.
anime that nobody probably has seen that anime, right?
Yeah,
At this
I-
table.
yeah.
So the
Yeah.
best way to do that is to get people interested in it
Mhm.
and get other people to be more aware of it, alert of the
fair
anime.
enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but I have a question.
hmm
Oh
Right.
God.
So there's a lot of like culturally, like cultural impacts, the anime have, like
Mhm.
that brought them over, because obviously like an anime is like a Japanese thing, right? They came over here because they got popular here, right?
Yeah.
YTV baby.
So
Certain
wouldn't you
shows
say-
like Dragon Ball
yeah,
Z that just
wouldn't
transition
you-
so well
So
in the
wouldn't
West.
you say like stuff like Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Sailor Moon, should they be in a top 5 or not?
For me, no. Definitely.
Why not?
Because I'm not actually that into it.
But
I was
aren't,
like,
those,
as a kid, I was.
but aren't those like the barrier breaking
if you're gonna talk
animes?
about
Like
pop culture,
Digimon
if
too,
you're gonna
right?
talk about pop culture,
Mhm.
and how it transitioned into the West and got
Yeah.
everyone else aware of anime, yes,
Yes,
there's-
you
those
would
would
put
be
it-
for
yeah,
sure on the list.
definitely. Uh-huh.
Especially, I'd say Pokemon probably top the list,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
followed by like Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
But if you get a real anime and real, animation,
Mhm.
with like
definitely-
great story.
that wouldn't
and
be up there. Dragon Ball, Digimon, no, definitely not.
in terms of that, no. But
Yeah.
for like a
In terms
subject,
of depth. And
yeah,
actual-
exactly. Character development,
Okay, then
depth,
what about
storyline.
a couple other mentions? Obviously, Bleach has already been mentioned once.
Mhm.
more than enough.
I mean, no doubt about that. It was like a top 3 anime at one point at its time. At
Yeah.
one point at its time.
I mean, it was
wasn't
one of
top
my
3.
favorite.
Top
yeah,
one.
sure,
It
sure,
was
sure.
top 3 at that time. It was always 3. It was always 3.
That was number 2.
Naruto and One Piece were the one fighting.
number
the top
2 on
2
this for
spots,
me.
right?
I'm
So,
gonna be king of the pirates.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be
What about One Piece? Like,
Hokage.
what can you
I
guys say
stopped
about One Piece?
watching it.
It was
I
just
mean,
too long.
I-
What
I will-
was your question?
Like I was like, what about One Piece? Like a lot of people might say One Piece is one of the greatest animes because it is. It's selling, right? It's
Yeah, I
selling.
think.
It's
Yeah,
still
I,
selling,
I
but
always.
it's not just like it's not just like
I-
barely selling. It's like breaking
I,
records.
I
you know
feel
what
like
mean?
if we made an objective list, you'd have to find a good balance between something critically acclaimed
Mhm.
and something that is very popular amongst
That's true.
fans.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
too.
is
Yeah,
why,
that's
like,
true
if you
too.
go on my anime list, they generally get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where what things are rated in terms of
I think
international appeal.
I think this guy would disagree about that.
Well, at one point.
one-
In terms
I-
of object popularity, what would you say would be like a top 5?
Well, let's just start off
in
with
terms
this.
of
My
its
anime
influence.
list is a very fishy website. At one point, Penguin the City was #1 anime on my anime list.
Was that
It's really
No,
good.
really?
How long
Yes,
ago was
I-
this?
I was like this year.
Your name was like
I
number
think-
one
I
for
think
the
you're
longest
right.
time.
At one
I
point,
think you're right. I think it was
Yeah.
like a meme, kind of a troll.
I think
So-
it was
Most of
April
this stuff's
1st.
like a troll.
I think it might have been like an April
April
Fool's
Fool's.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
I
thing
do,
is,
man.
I feel like this website, all the reviewers are so, now they're critical and they have good reviews, but I feel like everyone circle jerks too much
Yeah.
on my anime
I
list.
also feel that way. Like sometimes you'll, if you don't like an anime and then you score, you'll give it like a 1 because you didn't kind of
Yeah,
like it. So you'll-
exactly.
it's either it's like,
One
oh, I'm
or
gonna
a
give it a
10.
10. I really liked it, or it's like
Nothing's
1.
like
Yeah,
it's
that's true too,
watchable
that's true
past average 3
Yeah,
or
yeah,
5
yeah.
out of 10
Fair
or
enough.
7.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Fair
my
enough.
list is like that, but then like for most of like,
Yeah.
or for a lot of people who use my anime list, it's like
it's just
the
extreme,
10 or the 1.
extremes,
Yeah,
right?
it's just
Yeah.
extremes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because what's the point of rating it if you don't like it?
Like especially like what was it? Remember Anime Man? He had the top 100 anime in Japan.
Oh,
what they
yeah.
rated
Oh, yeah,
and
that was
compared to North
crazy.
America.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is like,
Like-
a fun fact here. Okay.
It's a
the-
Spoiler.
The number
It's not
one
really a
an-
spoiler.
the number 1 anime in Japan.
Wait, we won't say it. We'll try to guess around the
Okay,
table.
okay, fine.
So has anybody at the table seen the
Okay,
top
hold on,
100
hold on,
Japanese
hold on,
anime
hold on.
list?
No.
Let me give him a background about
Okay.
this. So it's officially been 100 years of anime. I think last year was like officially 100 years of anime.
Oh,
So
okay.
what they did is they compiled a list in Japan of like every single anime that's ever came in existence over the 100 years, right? And you're supposed to basically pick your favorite one, right? Well, which one was your number 1 anime, right? So who here what would you think is your number 1? Because me and Aaron have already seen that list. So
No,
Like
I wouldn't even.
from-
I wouldn't even say number 1. I would say like people in general objectively would say these are the best. Not
Yeah.
like it's overrated, but like what people would say.
Yeah,
not,
what people
And
not
this
would
is
me
say.
personally.
Japan.
yeah.
This is from Japan.
Of
Detective
all-
Conan.
Yeah, I'd probably go with
all
that.
Of Japan,
That
all
one.
of Japan.
Detective Conan and
Detective
One
Conan.
Piece.
I feel-
And One
Detective
Piece.
The
Conan?
longest running animes are probably
Yeah.
the ones
That's,
you're
I was
going
gonna say
for.
the same thing. The longest running animes.
What
were
if
probably-
I told you both of those animes didn't even make like the top 50?
Yeah.
Then it's gonna
Maybe not even the
Tell
top
me-
75.
It didn't make top
Look,
50.
look at me. Gintama. Did it make it top 50?
Gintama, yes.
Hold up.
Yeah, 'cause Gintama's pretty popular.
Gintama is huge.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. What would you think is number
But
1?
what would you think is like top of the
Number
list?
1.
Like people, you
It's
can't
gotta
hate
be
it.
some
You gotta-
cool
Give us
shit.
one. Give us one.
Is
Give
it
us
gotta
one.
be
only
something.
animes or anime movies?
It
These
can
are-
be anime movies as well. Yeah. It
Yeah,
was anime
but
movies
the
as well.
top list, I think it was an anime.
Yeah, it
the
was an
number one
anime.
was an anime, but there were anime
Are
movies
there?
in the top 10.
I'm just. Can we like exclude?
It doesn't even matter. All the anime movies all have like their own animes as well, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Just give
they're
me
not,
the
like,
series
Can we
separate.
exclude Ghibli stuff? Because Ghibli stuff is, I
yeah.
feel, is like world tier shit.
No, Ghibli stuff is on the list.
It is on the list.
Ghibli movies are on the same with Miyazaki films. I mean, they're on the list.
Yeah.
Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? Cause I say Ghibli.
I said Ghibli.
I mean, I've heard either or.
Whatever
Yeah,
you like.
Right.
Is it GIF or GIF?
I mean, I don't care. Honestly,
It's not peanut butter though.
yeah.
What's that?
It's
not peanut
GIF.
butter.
It has to be GIF.
Supposedly
Okay.
it is Jeff.
Let's go.
That's what
Gi-
creators
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Okay, let's go. Give me one
Okay,
anime.
what,
Braxton,
okay,
give
what
me
would
an
you say?
anime.
What would you say? Their
Let's
top
go.
5 or something, for
Okay,
example.
so
Give me one anime. Let's go.
judging by the fact that
Best anime.
Japanese people like their romance. They like their school life. They like their cuck. They love their really weird.
Give me an
stuff.
anime, man.
can
Give
you-
me
I'm
an
trying to think. It would have to be.
They love their tentacles, dude.
I'm gonna say.
This is tough.
Fuck, I can't even think of one. Come back to me. I can't think
Okay.
of one.
Okay, let's go.
No,
Matt,
Preet,
give me an anime
Preet,
right now.
Preet.
They like
Preet.
they like their Gundam, so Gundam.
The original
Yeah.
Gundam?
Yeah.
All right, you know.
I feel like it'd be like Sailor Moon or something. Something like
Yeah.
that's like long. It's old and it's like popular.
Do-
like it's extreme.
It's
Do you
something
feel that that's
obscure.
more popular in the West or in Japan? Because that was one of the original
Yeah,
like
that-
strong animes in the
That
West,
was
like with
specific- It's all
Pokemon.
of Japan. So what do you think?
I feel like it would. It's
Sailor
pretty
Moon?
strong in
All right.
Japan.
Can we
as
get a
well.
hint? Is
No.
it obscure?
We
I'll tell you
can't give
this.
you- we can't give
I
you a
can't
hint.
give you a hint, and even if I did, you wouldn't get it.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
give me a hint.
Because I can't even describe
Yeah,
these
he
anime
didn't
because
even
I haven't
realize
seen
it.
these animes.
Is it some shit that no one knows or?
No, no, no.
I'll just
it,
give
it
you,
is. It is popular. It is a popular.
People
anime.
have heard
okay,
of this
okay.
anime.
Yeah,
They
it
know
is
the
a
anime.
popular
I
anime.
personally haven't seen the anime.
Yeah, yeah. It is a popular.
But you
Is
know,
it real-
but you know
is
of
it-
it.
But I can give you. Okay, we can give some hints for
Yeah,
some in the
Hold
top
on,
5.
Just give him a.
Yeah,
first give him an
let-
answer. Yo,
let him
Braxton,
guess.
straight up.
No Dame Cantabile. It's like a music anime.
Oh,
Yeah, okay,
that's
wrong.
actually a really good one.
That's wrong. That's wrong. All right, so ready, I'm about to spoil it right
I
now.
love he was like,
I'm
just
about to
give me a
spoil it
hint,
right
nah.
now.
Fuck, give
I
me a
will
hint.
say. I'll tell you this. In the top 5, there
Yeah.
is like a music anime.
Yeah, there
Okay.
is. There
In the
is.
top
There is.
5.
There is. All right,
That's
ready,
close.
ready,
Is
ready
that a
here.
new one? July and April.
Shigatsu.
No,
No,
it's not.
no.
Is it
This is the guess now.
like Kids on the Slope or whatever?
No,
No,
it's
no,
not.
it's
All right, I'm about to reveal it right now. All right?
Hibiki.
Number 1 anime.
Number one anime.
Wait, do you know top 5?
Huh?
Do you know top 5?
can.
I'm
pull up
pro-
the
I'm
thing
pretty
is,
sure-
that
I'm
the
pretty
list
sure.
is in Japanese, and we
So,
were
yeah,
watching the
that's
anime
the
man,
thing.
and
That's
because he
fine,
reads
just
Japanese.
tell
Yeah,
us.
translate.
so I'll tell you number one.
Okay,
Tell us.
yeah,
No,
just
I'll tell you the number one, right?
Bleach.
The number 3, 2, and 1. Tiger and Bunny.
All 3.
All 3. The top
Tiger
3.
and Bunny
What the
movie,
hell's
the
Tiger-
original
Tiger and
series.
Bunny?
Tiger and Bunny.
Is
And
this the
another
one
movie.
with the Pepsi fucking logo? Is that the
that's
one?
the
What
yeah.
the shit?
The one with the hat and whatever. The guy with the
Really?
hat
Yeah,
with the
I'm gonna
goatee.
Google that.
All right.
Tiger
Number
and
one.
Bunny.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, is this real?
Card
Wait,
Captors was on that top 10 list as well.
Ooh, okay.
Card Captors on that top.
You know
10
they have a
list.
new season.
Yeah, I
They come out
know.
with a
The
new
Clear
season.
Card Hand. Yeah, I watched it.
I haven't seen
I
it.
think Love Live is probably the best one out of the list.
Love Life was also in the top 10
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
Love Life.
And like 3 Love Life titles were in the
Yeah.
top 10.
Yeah.
Gintama was in the top 10 as well.
Gintama.
Okay.
I would say Gintama is their number 1 like traditional one.
Yeah,
even we
yeah,
would
exactly.
assume
the
would be
number,
in there.
the first 3, the top 3 anime were all Tiger and Bunny movies, which
Yeah.
all also had an anime as well.
I've
Is
never
the
seen
Order
this in
a
my life.
Rabbit?
And-
Really? That's
And the other
top?
common ones were
How?
what it was
Dude,
Death
what's
Note
Tiger
and
and
Full
Bunny
Metal
even
Alchemist.
about?
yeah, what is the premise of them?
I
Anyway?
think it's about like some like superhero type of anime.
I just know it because of the Pepsi meme of
Yeah.
like
it's
of the
like
branding.
it's like more of like a superhero type anime.
Like a buddy kind
Yeah,
of like a
'cause I haven't
Batman and
watched
Robin
it.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I haven't watched it myself, but apparently there's some sort of competition that goes on about like saving the world, and whoever saves the world more times ends up becoming like a hero or something like that. Some weird little thing. You check out the synopsis, man. Check out the synopsis.
So 2011, spring
That's
2011.
crazy. I want to watch this. I want to see like what's up.
It never like the thing is
And
rating wise, it was never
It's
like
not. And if you look at my anime list, I
So
think
it's
it's
this
like
one.
in the hundreds.
Why?
yes, yeah.
Then why?
This is why I think it's a circle jerk. Like honestly, this feels like a circle jerk.
No, but
anime.
this
What's the
was
score?
but
What's
this
the
was,
score?
This was like
8.1.
no,
this was like just random.
dude.
Like,
This is like this is what
It's
this is what they
poll,
literally did.
like a
in Tokyo.
general poll.
This is what they literally did in Japan. They gave everyone a survey. Write your favorite anime down. Just one. And people wrote down Tiger and Bunny. That's it. And they just handed it in.
Do you know how many
That's
people they
the-
surveyed? I think it was like 100,000 people.
A lot of people.
It was something
a
like
lot of
that.
people.
Something
There's
ridiculous.
a lot of people
Wow.
all over Japan.
That's not a
man.
lot to be fair. In
There's a
Tokyo
lot.
alone, like 30
But think
million
about
people
why
come
would
to
they?
Tokyo.
You know how expensive it is to do polling, but just even to poll 100,000 people is a
Yeah,
lot of
that's a
people,
lot.
right?
Yeah.
But I want to know what people in Tokyo like. That's
Or
what
like
I wanna know.
Akihabara. and
Yeah, because like 30 million people
It's
alone.
probably gonna be Love Live.
Walk
It's
through
probably all the
Tokyo.
idol
Love
shit.
Life was
they
Tiger.
they
Yeah,
do
no, man,
love
There
their
was
idol
3
stuff.
titles. There was like Gintama movies. Like, I don't know, Gintama season 1, season 2.
I
like,
think
there was a
Death
lot.
Note made the top 10.
No, Death Note didn't
No,
make
no,
the
no,
top
Code
10.
Geass made the
Geass
list.
Code
Code
Geass?
Code
Top
Geass was like
10?
11 or 12, I think. So on that list.
Psychopath, Sword Art,
Psychopaths made it as well.
Sword
Sword
Art,
Art as well. Yeah.
After Story.
ReZero made the list like top 20. I think it was top 20.
Yeah, ReZero
and it was
was
pretty shocking
huge.
because it was such a brand new series, and people still chose
At the
that.
time of the list, I think the season just ended.
Yeah,
Like,
the season had just ended, so I
Like,
think the hype was pretty big for
it was-
ReZero
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
So that's part of the
I'm
reason.
looking for
I
it.
think
I'm
that's
not
a
finding
big
it.
factor. What people are watching now.
Yeah,
Like
hype,
for
yeah.
But still,
Sound
like
Tiger
for
King
now,
was
for example, now I think Boku no Hero would be really high on that list.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
that was still out at that time too, though.
Oh, was
Your
it?
name
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
on the list.
I think season
That's
one it
pretty
wasn't
far
as
down,
hyped
though.
as
Season
it
1 and
is.
season 2 were both out at that
I
time.
think now
too, that's-
everybody's on board. Like
Yeah.
it's
It just
But no, but
blowing
people saw,
up.
but people
Oh,
saw it coming. People
just-
saw it coming. Though.
And, it's,
That
and
was
there's and
'cause
there's the
the
thing
mo-
is there's no gaps
Just go
in
to
between
Google,
anime,
type
kind of
in
like Attack on
top
Titan.
anime
There's just a huge gap,
of
and
all
all the
time
viewership
according
fell
to
off after
Japan.
season 1.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
You know
so
what's
I guess,
crazy?
I guess
SAO
that
is
is
on
the
this
anime we
list.
should all
I know,
watch.
I know that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
You know
Tiger
what's
and Bunny.
crazy? Bleach is not on this list.
oh god. here we go.
Another reason we're just taking
You know
shots
what?
at Bleach.
You
Now
know
it's
what?
on there? Now it's going to be on
I don't.
Naruto wasn't on that.
ReZero is
I'll be-
60 by the way.
Huh.
61.
Yeah.
ReZero
Like
61.
Inuyasha was like 96 or something like
For
that
some
on that list as
reason-
well.
It's pretty old though. I feel
Yeah,
like
it's
it's like
pretty old,
more
yeah.
of a Western like.
One
Yeah.
Piece's
Nostalgia anime.
Pokemon's in here. Inuyasha is near the bottom.
Yeah, 90 in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a pretty crazy list.
I mean, you guys should watch Love Life. Really, it's about
Is this-
schoolgirls that
is this
become
what-
idols.
Is this
and-
what the rest of the podcast is just gonna
and,
devolve into now?
No.
Just idol stuff.
Well,
Or,
why don't
like-
we talk about something more obscure and out of the box, you know?
Out of the box.
Like what? Give an example.
Let's talk about classics, like old animes, like animes that you've seen that came out before you were even born.
Great
Let's talk
Teacher
about that.
Onizuka. That's one of the. That's probably the best old.
Yeah, Great Teacher is actually.
It's on point.
Is that what you guys are picking? Really?
I mean, there's
I
there's
haven't
I haven't
Cowboy
really seen
Bebop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
animes
into
that
older
old.
animes
Yeah.
as well, to be honest with you.
Well, okay, if you're talking about older animes,
The only one I've seen is Dragon Ball.
no,
The
man.
original.
I'd say okay,
Or
I'm,
like
pretty,
the-
I'm pretty sure we can all agree on this.
I know you're gonna say. Yeah.
Monster.
Monster is
Yeah,
pretty good,
yeah.
but
Monster's
I
pretty good.
I think
Monster's
I'd
really
still
good.
probably go for Great Teacher Onizuka
Really?
over that.
Like Monster had an amazing
Monster-
plot.
Monster's-
was
Monster's
written
really good.
amazingly. It
Really
was
good.
Really good. And that's a psychological anime too.
It is
like,
quite
you know,
long too.
It's
like
really long. 70 episodes.
70
yeah,
episodes,
It's
yeah.
pretty good.
Episodes, yeah.
Monster was really good, man. I mean, you can't deny Monster was really good.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you
I
for
feel
that.
I feel like that should be mentioned like an honorable mention, man, because that Monster was just
I feel-
really that
yeah,
good.
I
It should
understand-
be
yeah.
top 5. It should be top 5, you know?
Yeah, but no one said it.
yeah,
Neo,
I know.
Neo
But
Genesis,
this is subjective, dude.
That's
like,
one of them, too.
There's a lot of anime you can
Really
put in there.
Yeah.
the original Pokemon.
What was one thing that you guys like cut off from your list that just barely made it?
Ooh.
Darker Than Black.
Monster.
That's a good one. That's a solid one.
For honorable mention, I had Attack on Titan the Monster.
For
Those
honorable
two.
mention, I had Erased.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I had
Yeah,
Erased.
it was
Actually-
it was airing while ReZero was airing, I think.
Well, I think
Erased?
yeah, I watched
Yeah.
it at the same time.
That's why Race got screwed over. ReZero
Yeah.
kinda
I actually
came
didn't
along
like Erased after the what's the first girl's name?
I forget. I don't
Hina
remember.
something?
Either way, it was slow.
here. I
It
forgot.
was good.
Well, let's say it's.
I
Hina in
didn't
this
like
case,
the
but-
ending. I didn't like the ending,
I
but
thought
everything
Re-
up to it, I loved it.
To be
Really?
honest, I think the whole anime was predictable. I predicted the whole thing right after. Right
Did-
after
Yeah.
I mean, it's
anyone-
predictable, but it's
did
still you
anyone
still
read the
feel
manga
for
at
the
the end?
characters. You
Yeah.
still
Did
like.
anyone read the
No,
manga?
I did not.
I
It
know
has
you
a different ending.
Yeah, you
That's
told me
different.
about
Yeah.
it.
Wait, what?
Is it like
It
very
has a
different?
It's very different.
It's
Okay,
really
which one's
weird.
that?
They're
Oh.
both kind of sucked. They're both kind of.
I think I preferred the manga.
The manga was a
ending,
little
yeah.
bit better,
It's
but
a
You read
little
it
bit
as well?
better, yeah.
No, he told me about it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back to that.
I mean, the
Yeah.
anime ending wasn't bad. I liked it. I actually enjoyed it.
Always check.
Yeah,
Right now we played
yeah, makes sense though. Erase was I guess Erase was pretty good. I think
Might
like
as well just finish off. What's the what's something that you
Oh
cut
yeah,
off as
my
well?
my honorable mentions were Speed Grapher, Love Hina, and
Wait,
Neon
what,
Genesis.
what was that first one?
What's Speed Grapher about?
It's like so this guy's a photographer and he's a war photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So he's compelled to take pictures of very like, I guess kind of gory, actiony, real life, scenario things like him having PTSD from the war.
So what was it? Speed Driver?
Grapher.
Grapher.
So it's about a photographer. He has PTSD, taking pictures of like anything and everything in his life. But in this anime, he gains a power due to a certain circumstance, and every time he takes a picture of anything at all, he blows it up, like it explodes. Like that thing just blows up. It's
Okay.
very obscure. It's weird, but it's enjoyable.
It's
Yeah,
really,
So
looks
basically,
really old,
he can-
2005.
yeah.
It's not even that old, yeah.
So you can't. he can't take pictures unless he
It's
wants
his
to be
power,
a
yeah.
terrorist.
So he loves taking pictures, but he's
But then he gains a power where if he takes a picture of something,
yeah.
like with it'll die. And then it's also it gets in depth where certain lenses do certain effects.
Oh damn.
Like macro lenses have
I
like pinpoint.
I
actually-
think the animation could be really cool.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
it's a good
With
anime.
all
It's
the
a great
picture kind of like
yeah, we could do some really cool stuff.
It's
with
very
it.
emotional too. So if you guys, it's very like, it talks about real life subjects. It's
That's
very,
a cool one.
It's
Yeah, I
cool.
like that.
I like the premise alone. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, I'm probably not gonna watch it because it's old.
Yeah.
But
But
Yeah.
if
The
you
4x3,
want
the bars.
I
the
think
bars.
I think what everyone should watch is free.
I think we should. That's
I
where we
think-
end
I
this
think
podcast, guys.
it's-
Great
Yeah.
podcast, good discussion.
Oh, but we gotta listen to Janelle's honorable
what's
mention,
your-
man.
I'm
Oh,
just
mine
kidding. I was
was
joking, guys.
Let's see
Oh, what was
here.
yours too?
Yeah, what was yours, man? Preet? One that you cut off.
That was
Oh,
not free.
That you did cut off, rather.
Yeah, Darker Than Black.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
never mind. He
yeah,
went. Yeah,
yeah,
he
yeah.
said.
Yeah, I already said that. Yeah.
It's not memorable. Sorry.
Whoa,
You're gonna be a roasting masterpiece list. You change the podcast to a roasting masterpiece list, man.
That'll be
Darker
next
Than
week's
Black,
topic. That'll be
way
next
better
week's
than
topic.
Full Metal Alchemist. Way better than Clonad.
Yo, Janelle, what's your
Thank you for
honorable
listening to
mention?
this
What's your-
podcast.
Come on.
I had two. One was Konosuba. Do you
Oh
guys-
yeah.
Konosuba?
Yes. Yeah.
I actually didn't really like comedy animes before that, and then I watched it, and it was actually really funny.
Mhm.
Like, so that one changed my perspective on like comedy anime, and Akame got killed. Have you guys watched that?
Yes.
That was,
Okay.
I've heard of it.
That was
I
actually-
haven't watched it.
Manga's
I
different.
tried, but I couldn't.
Anime's different.
manga's not different.
It is.
No, it's not.
I read it a
Did
little.
you watch the end or read the end?
I didn't read the end.
It's the same. It's
I
the
want
the
to
same?
finish
No.
it, but I don't know if I can. Like, there's a point. I know you know it, where they're on a boat and things happen, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, Lonely Island. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Just like
All right,
that.
I think that
Just
is the
wrap up
official
on
end.
spot.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in with us. Again, I'm your host, Vedant.
I'm Amardeep.
I'm your boy Braxton.
Preet.
And Janelle.
And
that was the first episode.
yeah, thanks
So-
for tuning in with
Yeah.
Attack on Anime.
And hopefully we'll see you again next time around.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye.